Glenn Beck, if you don't know, is ardently against Donald Trump. He thinks that it might actually lead us to a place we might not recover from. And, give him credit for being conservative, but being principled. And he's not going to give in to Donald Trump, who, of course, has no principles. I said, wait a minute. He's wearing a MAGA hat. That's curious. So this guy who vowed that he would never support Trump and has shown in 1,000 different ways what's wrong with Trump from a conservative perspective, all of a sudden does this.
And they were spinning it as if he was saying that about all immigrants. I'd had enough. I'd have enough. Media, if you can get me, Glenn Beck, to do this, and in case you're only listening to us on radio, I just donned a red Make America Great Again hat. If you can drive me to the point to where I say, you know what, I've had enough. I'll vote for him in 2020. Gladly, I'll vote for him in 2020. And not really even on his record, which we'll talk about here in a second, is pretty damn amazing. But if you can drive me to the point to where I'll wear one of these stupid red hats, I'm telling you, you're making a gigantic mistake, and I welcome it. I welcome it.
So he's pretending that he's doing this because the media has driven him to the edge. The way they talked about how Donald Trump referred to undocumented immigrants as animals, when he was in fact talking about MS-13. Well, look, in that exchange, a reporter did ask him about MS-13, and then he went out to talk about how we are sending so many people back, but they're not really people, they're animals. So it was clear to, I think, everybody that watched that clip that he was referring to a far broader section of undocumented immigrants than MS-13. Why are we sending MS-13 back? I thought they decapitate people. Well, shouldn't they be in jail? Come on, we're still having this conversation as to whether Donald Trump has said horrific things about undocumented immigrants in general. He called them criminals and rapists in his first press conference. Now for Beck to shed crocodile tears over, oh my God, the media is maligned Donald Trump. Okay, that's why I'm doing this. No, that's not why he's doing this. I'll explain why he's doing it in a second, but first, more hilarious groveling.
I ask forgiveness on from Donald Trump on this. Please forgive me, Mr. Trump, for predicting that you will sweep in 2020. Because every time I ever am for a candidate, they always lose. So I won't endorse you because that's the kiss of death. But I will tell you, the things that you have done as the president are remarkable. Remarkable.
Remarkable. You're pretty damn amazing and remarkable. Let's watch earlier Glenn Beck on Donald Trump.
The people are speaking clearly, and there's two ways to go. Anger and nationalism, which has been done before in history. And you can go for nationalism, you can go for anger.
Trump is Adolf Hitler?
If you look at what's happening with Donald Trump and his playing to the lowest common denominator and to the anger in us, Adolf Hitler, we all look at Adolf Hitler in 1940. We should look at Adolf Hitler in 1929. He was a kind of a funny kind of character that said the things that people were thinking. Where Donald Trump takes it, I have absolutely no idea. But Donald Trump is a dangerous man with the things that he has been saying.
Just 2 years ago, he was Adolf Hitler. I'm going to remind you of the quote you just heard a little bit earlier. Glenn Beck, I will tell you, the things that you have done as the president are remarkable. Remarkable. What a wonderfully broken man. But he's not done yet. Watch.
I yesterday went and looked at your campaign promises, and then I looked at what you've done. I'm going to do that on the radio here in just a second. It's remarkable. And in fact, just Israel alone may be the ballsiest and best thing I have ever seen any president do in my lifetime. And that's saying something because I'm a pretty big fan of, I don't know, killing communism with Ronald Reagan.
So Hitler helped Israel so much that you've decided now to be a MAGA guy. Oh, the pretty little lies that we tell. So I have my own theory. First, I'm going to share an anonymous friend of Glenn Beck talking to the Daily Beast said this, that this was, quote, desperate and predictable act of a man hanging on to his last shred of relevance by a thread, trying desperately to woo back the massive number of fans lost when he poses Trump. Sad. I love that last little line. Nice little dig and a reference to Donald Trump's tweets. Okay, so what's going on here? Two things. Number one, on the left, we care about intellectual honesty and principles, etc. So I criticized Obama 1,000 times, 2,000 times, 10,000 times. Now, we didn't criticize him about the stupid things that the Republicans went after him for. He wore the wrong color suit. He held a coffee cup while saluting a Marine. He puts mustard on his burger, or even fake scandals like the IRS. Turns out they looked into more liberals and conservatives, but they wouldn't shut up about it because they have an agenda they're driving. But we did have a ton of legitimate criticisms for him. We told him not to drill in the Gulf, and we said don't kill civilians with signature drone strikes, and we were principled, and we remained that way for 8 years. But on the right, they love authoritarianism. So they look for an alpha male, and most of them are betas. So whenever they see what they perceive to be an alpha, eventually they all do this. Oh, yeah, I submit. And so this picture now of Glenn Beck goes in the pantheon of wonderfully sad and broken men that lies in Donald Trump's wake. It goes along with, of course, this other picture that you're familiar with. Old friend Ted Cruz. Okay, so part of it is the audience does not want you to contradict the dear leader. It wants you to bow your head and put a MAGA hat on. So then Beck does the cute little thing of, it's a stupid red hat, and I'm not endorsing you because that wouldn't turn out well for you. Look, I'm being self-effacing and I'm being slightly principled. No. The whole point is for you to put on that stupid red hat and say, I submit. And you did that by explaining how remarkable our dear leader is. You've been remarkable. Oh, God, that is so wonderfully sad. Okay. So the other point is that organization he's running, The Blaze, no one has ever named an organization better than Glenn Beck. It is on fire, okay? And he's trying to put out the fire desperately. He's like, okay, all right, I don't know. Somebody hand me a MAGA hat. Somebody, I gotta do something here. There is almost literally a fire sale going on at The Blaze. They're losing money massively. That's because, as I've told you from day one when they started that organization, Glenn Beck is not a businessman. The conservatives are notoriously terrible at running businesses, at least in the media sphere. In the media sphere, they're like, where's Daddy Warbucks? Where's my daddy? Where's my Sheldon Adelson, please. Robert Mercer, I'm begging you, the Koch brothers. They can't actually turn a profit. They can't run sustainable businesses. So they look for billionaire people to come and donors to come and give them money so they could run their operation as basically propaganda for their patron. So that's the second reason why he put the hat on. So he could say, now Adelson, I know you really like him, especially what he did with Israel. Please, I'm begging you, please buy the place. I know it's worthless, but it's good marketing. And you're gonna get billions of dollars in tax cuts, and you already did. We can get you more tax cuts. Go, I'll put on that, I'll put it on. Pathetic. Sad. Baby. Oh my God, please, here's what I want. Last thing, Ted Cruz put the little cherry on top by doing that fawning description of Donald Trump for Time magazine about how he's one of the 100 great men, right? Oh, Donald Trump, the things that he insulted your wife, he called her ugly, he said your father was a murderer, right? So, and he went and did that anyway. Glenn Beck, we're looking for that last cherry, right? Where you maybe go to the White House and you kiss his hand or something. conservatives. It's actually surprisingly easy to break them. Just push them a little bit, and whenever they need money, they will grovel. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.